Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Seo-won. Wake up, now wait, walk, smoke them if you have them, run, stop, sleep, eat, say goodbye girlfriend. Gentlemen, get ready to hear this word shouted at you every day for 2 years of your life. Warfare has been around for as long as humankind has been wandering the earth. Throughout history, society has always been organized to deal with the threat of attack culminating in the national armies of today. Modern military forces can be divided into two types: professional volunteer forces and part or full conscript forces. In Korea, we have a part conscription force, meaning it is a mix of conscript and professional soldiers. Many people argue conscription is the duty of all Korean men. They argue we must protect our motherland at all costs. However, Korean conscription is grossly unfair because it wastes government money, steals time away from young men, and does not offer fair compensation. To begin with, maintaining a conscript army costs the Korean taxpayer a huge amount every year. According to the Korean Ministry of Defense, conscription and maintaining a conscript army accounted for 58% of Korean defense budget in 2009. To put that in dollar terms, the real cost of Korean conscript army was US $7.8 billion. This is more than the GDP of New Zealand and Ireland combined, and accounts for more than the state spending in health and education respectively. According to Lee Eun, the opposition minister for defense, this is an unfair burden for the citizens of Korea. Every year, the cost of living goes up and our taxes rise too. This is too much for the average people. One way to bring down taxes is do away with the conscription, Mr. Lee said. Also, according to the Association of Concerned Korean Citizens, as defense spending goes up, government spending on infrastructure and welfare has been falling in real terms. The website for the Association of Concerned Korean Citizens stated, the expense of providing a better future for all Koreans, young and old, has now been passed into the hands of individuals because our government is obsessed with creating and maintaining a vast and pointless military force. Not only is a conscript force expensive, but it also wastes the time of conscripted soldiers. All men have to give up 2 years of their lives, which could be spent doing better things. This puts Korean men at a distinct disadvantage compared to their peers in other countries. For example, according to a leading recruitment company, GGYM, to qualify for an upper management track position with the World Bank or the IMF, you need to join the workforce before the age of 30 and have 3 years postdoctoral experience in related NGO or academic institution. The 2 years Korean men spend in military means it is almost impossible for them to gain access to these organizations, leaving Korean men underrepresented. In Singapore, which also has compulsory military service, soldiers have the option to learn practical skills they can take into the real world. According to David Chang, the Singaporean Minister of Labor, 25 years ago, the Singaporean government came to the realization that conscripted soldiers were wasting their time locked away in barracks. He said the government decided it was best to offer them courses like accounting, finance, automotive repair, and engineering. These are all useful outside the confines of the military. Finally, to add to the cost and time issues, conscription is wrong because conscripts are inadequately compensated for their time. The average conscript is given an allowance of 80,000 Korean won per month. This is peanuts. Israel has a policy of compulsory military for both men and women. According to Israeli Ministry of Statistics, the average male soldier receives a one-off payment of $30,000 when he is discharged from military service, more if saw action. This is paid on top of regular salary. Former Israeli soldiers are also eligible for free tuition through Israeli state-owned universities. A similar system exists in Switzerland and Germany. In both countries, conscripts are paid a wage that exceeds the minimum wage, and they are given university credit relative to the time they spend in service. In addition to this, in both Switzerland and Germany, conscripts can opt for a variety of types of service as long as they can prove what they are doing is in the national interest. The big thing is, again, the conscripted can draw wages or salary based on market rates. It is clear that compulsory military service is wrong at every level. Specifically, taxpayers' money spent on military is wasted and would be better spent elsewhere. It also uses up Korean men's time when they are in prime of their lives, and it leaves them unable to tackle other opportunities. On top of this, Korean men are tremendously undercompensated for their sacrifice. Some argue military service is a form of modern slavery. While this is clearly an exaggeration, we need to give more back to the brave young men who give so much and receive so little in the name of keeping our nation secure. Better yet, we could do away with it altogether. Thank you.